Hey YouTube Gundam here, and welcome back to World of Warships. Yeah, that looks like... that seems interesting. This is a new premium ship in World of Warships. This is the Ashitaka. And from the look of it, it seems quite similar to the Amagi. There are some subtle differences. But looking at the Amagi here with the secondary guns and the main gun placement, then taking a look at the new premium, the Ashitaka, no, actually I think it is an Amagi, just not upgraded. I don't remember where I can go to find out information about the ship. Or maybe I just hover my mouse. Yep, Amagi class battle cruiser. It is an Amagi, it's just not upgraded. So, I love my Amagi. You know, the Amagi was actually my favorite Japanese battleship. I just haven't put any premium skin on it yet. I was too busy getting the that thing. But yeah, the Amagi, I love it. It's a good ship, and you know, not upgraded. Probably the A hull. Let's find out. Oh, I have to get rid of that. I'll forget that. And I can almost guarantee it's the A hull. But I'd have to buy the other thing and put that on, then do that. So forget that. So Ashitaka, but it gets a unique skin. Normally, the premium skin is this: -3 to detectability by sea, and it gives you 50% extra experience in battle, and makes the enemies a little bit less accurate, 4%. This gives the same detectability range by sea, and the same inaccuracy of the enemy. However, you also get 100% instead of 50% experience in battle. You also get plus 20% to the credits earned, and minus 50% to the cost of the ship's post-battle service. Also, it's a premium. What's important about that? Well, being a premium ship is pretty good, and I'm going to sack this guy. I'm going to put my Ashitaka's commander on here instead, because that's a 10-point skipper. I'll worry about this later. Well, no. So the Ashitaka, it is a pretty good ship. If anything to go off of the Amagi is, however, the Amagi is a tier 8 and the Ashitaka is a tier 7. So, having a 10-point skipper on my Amagi sounds a whole lot better. This one. Actually, maybe. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Being a tier 7 now, I'll be going against more Clevelands. Oh, forget that. This one. So, yeah. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why did they just put my commander over there? It's a premium. Why is that important? Because you can put any ship captain on here you want. So, I have my Mikasa at tier 2. I have my Ishizuchi at tier 4, which is a lot of fun. The Mutsu at tier 6, which is absolutely terrible. Even the torpedoes that this thing has are terrible because it gets very few. The Ashitaka will be a tier 7 Amagi that's not quite as good, but it's got those same guns. Take a look at the stats of the guns here. Reload time 31 seconds, 45 degrees turning, 1240, well 1240, range of 20, and the accuracy 227, 31, 45, 227, and 20. Compared to the Amagi, 30, 38, 211, and 20. So same range, but the Amagi reloads slightly better, turns a little bit better. The dispersion, though. The dispersion, 211, 227. However, this thing can go against Congos. And will not see tier 10s, where the Amagi will. Now, the only other reason to have this ship training, Mikasa Ishizuzi Mutsu, even though it sucks, and the Ashitaka can train this guy. Yeah. Don't go against this thing. It's obvious. But because of that guy, I can train up him a little bit better. I'm going to take the Ashitaka out for a spin. So it's going to be a lot cheaper to run. Get this guy. It's going to be a lot cheaper to run. However, I do have one other ship. It's actually an aircraft carrier. It's the Kaga. The Kaga was supposed to be a Toso class battleship, which is supposed to be in between a Nagato and an Amagi. They converted it midway through construction to an aircraft carrier. So she has the same armor as a battleship, but also the same lack of maneuverability. And the similar secondary guns. So it's going to take a large amount of punishment to bring this thing down. And it's going to hurt. Good amount of anti-air, good amount of secondaries, good amount of armor, but it's slow and it's big. It's really big. Here's the Ryujo. Actually, hang on. Look at this. Look at this. And look at the Ashitaka. So the Kaga is enormous, but she gets a lot of planes. And she's really tough. And look at this. It seems like paper, except there. The citadel on this thing is really tough. And the back is kind of tough, but there's kind of weak. It's actually a little tougher than the others, but funnels? Oh. So yeah, it's it is pretty tough. That's a lot of armor for an aircraft carrier. That would be a good amount of armor on a battleship, actually. So, I wish we would have the Toso in-game, but we have the Ashitaka, which is a version of the Amagi, just weaker, but it's a tier lower, so that's okay. The Toso would be in between the Nagato and the Amagi, so probably a tier 7, maybe a tier 8. Pity it's not the Shonanu. What's the Shonana? Actually, hang on. I'm sorry, the Shinano. S-H-I-N-A-N-O. The Shinano is another battleship turned into an aircraft carrier, whereas the Toso was turned into the Kaga here. The Shinano was going to be one of these things. Yamato, Musashi, and Shinano. But they turned the Shinano to like this. Never made it to her target, but it's never completed. She got sunk. And she would have been the biggest carrier of World War II, and she is the largest ship ever sunk by a submarine. U.S. Navy sub Archerfish sunk her with 4 torpedoes. So, it's a Yamato that's turned into an aircraft carrier sunk by a sub. That's pretty impressive for the sub. And I wonder what it would be like in game, because this one is a tier 7, so the Toso might be a tier 7 or an 8. In between the Nagato and the Amagi. But, Shinano would have been a version of the Yamato, just turned into a carrier. I'm going to have to take out the Ashitaka and the Kaga. The Kaga has my Ryujo commander, and you know who I put on this thing. My Yamato skipper. Why? That's the only reason to get a premium, really. Well, one of the main reasons. Other than, unless it's the Missouri, because that thing churns out money like there's no tomorrow. With Steven Seagal on board. Unless it's the Missouri, one of the main reasons to get a premium is because you can take your non-premium ships and put them in there, the commander in there, and not have to worry about changing out the training and all that stuff. Now, I don't have any modules, but I can slap some on. I need this, don't I? Yeah, I do. Then again, nope, this one. I'm going to slap on some modules. I'm going to take out these two. I'm going to let you know what I think. Alright, so after a quick battle, this thing is exactly like the Amagi. It's just doesn't have Kaiserman. You know, it's a tier 7 Amagi, so it's a little bit less on some things. The main guns are just as powerful. The armor sucks just as much. It's a tier 7 Amagi, which is pretty good. And that means no Yamatos or your Montanas to worry about. Now this thing, I haven't had to deal with somebody at point blank range yet. But this thing actually is pretty nice in the aircraft department. First off, it has a ton of aircraft. Second, you actually get 2 choices. This has 1 fighter, 1 torpedo, and 3 dive. This has 2 fighter, 2 torpedo, and 1 dive. So do you want to go after the enemy destroyers, or do you want to go after the enemy warships? You know, the one is great against destroyers and battleships for setting them on fire. The other is good for torpedoing. Here's the thing. The torpedo bombers are actually unique. You know how normally with torpedo bombers you have the torpedoes will all fire all at the same time, and they'll all be going in a fan line straight out, or you can narrow it. Well, this combos that. There are some planes that have it on the widespread and some that have it on the narrow spread simultaneously, meaning it's next to impossible to dodge the torpedoes, which is awesome. It's actually going to be quite difficult against you. It is a really big target, so concealment, yeah, forget that. And the artillery is just these 5 guns. Well, it says it has 10 of these and 6 duels and 2 duels. So I'm assuming these things? Yeah, it's gotta be those. So there's these 2 here, 2 on the other side. These 2 on the other side. And that's it. There's... Oh, wait, what? It's just those 2? So where are the others? Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. He only has 1. What? Okay, so the secondary armament's rather intriguing. You have these two guns here, then these two guns here, all those down there. And then you have these three right next to each other, and then this one here. So actually, it has a weak spot. If you attack it from this angle, you have very few secondaries shooting at you. You only got that one. Over here is suicide because there's all this. But then there's, you know, what's over here. Now, anti-aircraft is pretty good. It's the planes of this thing. That's where this thing is really good. With the torpedo bombers, you're not going to dodge it so easily. So it's good to go after battleships with the secondary hull type loadout. The loadout number 2 is great for the torpedoes. Loadout number 1 is great for dive bombers, so it's great against destroyers and probably other carriers. While loadout 2 is great if you want to shoot down enemy planes with all the fighters, and if you want to shoot down enemy battleships with all the torpedo bombers. So the Kaga is actually not bad. I'm gonna have to try out the first loadout. I've tried out Type 2. I'm gonna try Type 1, but Kaga seems pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna put in the Shinano and the Toso. Toso's the Kaga, but in a battleship. The Shinano's a Yamato as an aircraft carrier. So yeah, I'm catch you later. This is awesome.